The Calhoun County Area Chamber and Visitor Center is a member-driven and funded organization. New members are extremely important and greatly appreciated. At the same time, they understand that member retention really is the key for them. And a main part of getting members to continue to be a member is the idea of engagement. And this survey, conducted by the Chamber of Commerce, supported by Jacksonville State University, looks at that very issue. Hello, I'm Mark Hearn, and I work for Jacksonville State School of Business and Industry and the Department of Management and Marketing. And we'd like to share with you some of the results of this recent survey. Now, we're going to have a few questions that ask about chamber programs, how they feel about those, and which ones are more important to them. We have some COVID-19 questions, how they like to be communicated with by the Chamber of Commerce. And we do have information on the respondent characteristics, how likely they are to recommend a chamber to a friend or colleague, and the results of some open-ended questions. In general, it's very positive information for the Chamber of Commerce. Now, we start out with the big question. When you think about the Chamber of Commerce and their programs, which one of those programs do you feel like is most important to you? And over half, 56%, said it was those elements of the chamber that were associated with business growth, help them grow their organization. That's it. That's why they're here. Now, there was also individuals who selected the most important initiative was business advocacy, the chamber representing them, lobbying for them, and being there as a voice. And leadership development programs were mentioned by 16% of the respondents. We also asked them to look at certain issues that they were facing at this time and to rank those in order of importance. And in this ranking, lower weighted rank, which you see over on the right-hand side of the screen, means that that item was more important to them. Number one, much like in the first question, they said really their most important issue was customer attraction and retention, weighted out at 2.17. Followed not far behind by maintaining qualified workforce. I think a lot of the companies are still mentioning that. And we've seen a shrinkage in the workforce, even though unemployment is higher. Government regulations help in that area, access to capital, obtaining operational supplies, and 6 on the list was obtaining inventory. We felt that the inventory issue might be a little higher, and it certainly was with retail organizations in particular, where they were concerned about that and some supply chain issues. But that was just for a certain segment of the respondents. Overall, it's about customer attraction. Now, we all know the economic disruption associated with COVID-19. And we asked several questions about that, looking at the last 7 months, which when the survey was conducted would have taken us back to about the start of the pandemic. And we asked them, what about your business model, how you conduct your operations? Has that changed dramatically in the last 7 months? And 17% said it had dramatic changes in how they conducted business. 13% said, we've made changes, many changes. The bulk of people were in the, we've had some, or in several, 28, which would be over half. So they have had changes. And 16%, which is kind of similar to the percentage for people that said it was dramatic, was people said, no, we really haven't changed how we're conducting business at this time. We asked about types adaptations. This was a little different because it was check all that apply, and companies were doing the entire gambit of things. Number one was social distancing, 21%, additional cleaning, 19%, requiring masks, using virtual meetings, restricting access to their facilities, and 9% said they had employees that were working at home. Now, on revenues, when we asked about that, 28% said significantly lower revenues last 7 months. 27% slightly lower. About 26% said unchanged. So there's certainly a, in general that revenues are down. 15% said the revenues slightly higher, and some individuals actually said significantly higher. Expenses, kind of the opposite of the last slide, where you've got 15% saying the expenses are up significantly, 30% slightly higher, and you've got a group almost 29% saying that they're unchanged. Next, we asked, what is the preferred method of communication with the Chamber of Commerce? And over half the respondents, 56%, said it was the newsletter by email. That's what they prefer. Some individuals that mentioned text reminders, newspaper sections, Facebook, even phone calls, but overall, number one, newsletter by email. And finally, in this abbreviated coverage of the survey, we asked the money question, especially for attracting new members. You'd like to know whether or not you can count on a recommendation. And 58% responded that they were extremely likely to do that, recommend the Chamber to a friend. 29% saying likely. So it's a very strong endorsement for Chamber operations, and they can certainly count on some positive word of mouth out there from their membership. So to wrap it up, most valuable initiative offered by the Chamber, membership said, is those initiatives that are associated with business growth. And most important issue facing them right now, pandemic, no pandemic, doesn't matter. It's getting customers, new customers, ranked number one. Certainly pandemic impact on the Chamber of Commerce membership, 28% talking about making changes, and social distance is the main thing that they're doing. Revenues significantly lower, about 28%, certainly happening. Expenses slightly higher, 30%. The most common response. Preferred contact method, the newsletter by email, 64%. And how likely are they to recommend the Chamber of Commerce to a friend or colleague? 58% saying that was extremely likely. And we have some additional issues, open-ended questions where we ask the membership what else they would like to see, and some common responses: additional training programs, business clinics, networking programs. Several mentioned programs associated with loans and grants for small businesses. They talked about any kind of referral program that would mention several times. Special topics that they would like to hear: business Spanish was mentioned, sign language for businesses, emergency first aid, cybersecurity mentioned by several respondents, and human resource issues. Now, this is a quick summary of that survey that we put together for the Chamber of Commerce. There are certainly additional items that we collected, and if you'd like the full results, just contact the Chamber of Commerce and they'll be glad to share that information with you. And if you have any questions about the methodology or anything like that, reach out to us at Jacksonville State. Glad to help.